Good morning, everyone. Good. Okay. Today we take a look again into the Bitcoin chart because right now it's still my favorite chart. Basically, I'm currently trading. It's just the best outlook, and I can basically work the best with the Elliott-Waves right now. So, for example, we will dive into the Ethereum chart afterwards as well. This one is a bit less clear for me, I guess. And also the Bitcoin dominance. I do have an idea what could happen, but also right now the Bitcoin dominance is not exactly easy to predict with the Elliott-Wave. So therefore, we stick right now to the Bitcoin chart because it's just the easiest chart basically right now for trading. Good. So for the daily view, nothing has changed to my last video basically. The only difference is in the last video we were close to the wave 3 target and now we are inside. So that means in theory we have reached our wave 3 target, and that means also that we can always now dump basically to the wave 4. That's just one important thing you should keep in mind. So if we don't have this other push upwards to the final wave 5 target I'm expecting on the hourly, it means we could in theory already be in the downtrend on the daily time frame. That's the important thing here. You should always keep in mind, also if you're trading, now it's getting a bit more risky. Also if you see on the daily we are on important oscillator levels. Usually if you have those high levels, you are at the end basically of a daily trend. And also my bearish signal here just appeared. That happened also here, and as you can see, usually there was one dip, yes, and then there was another push for the wave 5. So that's what I am expecting right now. I am expecting a last push to the wave 5, but of course it could always be the case that we already are in the downtrend. Good. If we now dive deeper in the hourly, the push is already happening. That's good. Let's see if that really plays out. Good. In the past, I think there was a short video maybe only. I'm not sure anymore. Basically, what I've done here, it's a bit a mess, sorry for that. Basically what I have done here, I have created a short trade. I have also tweeted that one on Twitter. I've started around the 14th of April. The only thing, I did a mistake basically. Those big candles here were confusing me, and I have just closed really late in the evening my trade just to be safe. That was, as you can see, that was a mistake. Actually, my target was hit perfectly. This was my actual target here, and that one was hit perfectly. But I have closed my trade too early. So that's a learning session for me. As long as the structure looks good, why should I why should I change my trade? That's one thing I have learned. Good. What else? I think also in the short video or also in the YouTube video or on Twitter, I'm sometimes not sure where, I have explained this long trade, which is created a long time ago, and now we finally hit 2 of the accumulation levels. So if we now jump to the 3-hour time frame, you can see basically my trade setup here. This one was created on the 13th. Don't be confused. There is another, that's a second long trade here, basically on the same setup. But in the video I have explained this one here. So now we have hit 2 accumulation zones. One is not hidden. That was super close. I was basically expecting that last drop, but unfortunately we haven't hit my target, so I keep that one open just in the case this correction is not over. But based on my oscillators, we are pretty close to a trend shift here, as you can see, and also on the lower time frames I expect that this could be the bottom, and we have hit basically perfectly the wave 4 target. So right now I really think that Bitcoin is playing out pretty good, and you can basically calculate pretty good the targets for with the Elliott waves. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it's a bit a mess, sometimes it doesn't work well. So as soon as you realize that the hidden or the levels are working fine, then you really have to go into the trades and you make the money. Because as soon as you think, okay, well, the trades are not working well, you can't really estimate the targets, then you should not trade. And that's currently what I'm expecting. Of course, there is a risk. My stop loss level is here at around 28.3k. I always also trade only with 2% risk, of course, just to make sure that I don't lose all my money. So that's the current setup. And if we now go a bit deeper, I really think, let's just deactivate those trades here. Okay. I really think that this was on the minute time frame, this was a ABC. Overshooting B, and then the C target was actually here, and we have overshooted a bit more to basically hit the hourly wave 4 target perfectly. That's the goal here. And now the important thing basically is here that wave 1 and 2. That's the most important thing you should keep an eye on. If we really turn here, that's what I'm expecting, maybe this evening or tomorrow morning, then we will go in a downtrend. And this downtrend, that's basically the important one. So if you are not yet in a trade, you can wait until you have reached this wave 2 target here. And if we really hit this target, you can just place the stop loss somewhere under those levels here. And then you have a super easy trade as well, with a pretty tight stop loss, and then you can place the risk ratio to 2 or even further up, depending where this wave 3 target will be. That's right now not possible to calculate, because firstly we have to wait until the wave 1 is done, and then until the wave 2 is done. That's basically the setup here. And maybe I will enter an additional trade on a different exchange just to basically get this wave 3, because that's what I'm really liking basically. So entering at around the 20th of April, and then 2 or 3 days later you can already exit the trade. That would be awesome. Of course, let's see if that really plays out. Good. If we go to the Ethereum chart, that's a bit the tricky part. So here also important to see is that we have in theory already hit the target for the wave 3. So this box here is basically my target, and also on the time frame we are in that target. So from right now on, you always keep in mind that we could have the bigger correction to the daily wave 4 to get that final push upwards to the wave 5. So that's the tricky part here. If we now go basically a bit further down. I can't read the charts right now here for Ethereum. That's why I haven't opened a trade. That was my preferred trade actually, because I think Ethereum will push a bit more than Bitcoin in the next couple of weeks, but I can't see the chart. If this was already the wave 4, that would be super bullish, because the wave 4 target would be here somewhere, and we haven't hit those targets. So that's something I still can't expect. I still think that there will be a bigger push, maybe in a couple of days until this wave 4 is completed. But that's sometimes happening. Also, if you go to the 1 hourly time frame, I really can't see the waves. So that's why I don't trade this one. That's the case. Of course, on the bigger time frame, the view is still pretty good. Either this wave 3 is completed, or it's not yet completed, and we will complete the wave 3 somewhere here. Both is fine, and then we will have the correction to the wave 4. If this happens either now or either later, I have a big picture again, and then we can basically trade that last wave 5 on the daily chart. And afterwards, you really should be careful, because afterwards there could be a bigger correction. For example, also for the Bitcoin chart, there I really expect a bigger correction. As you can see here, that's basically the wave 1 on the weekly target, and then by end of this year, basically beginning next year, I do expect a bigger correction, maybe 33% or even more. That could be then a bearish cycle, but not a big one, but basically a bearish cycle until the halving. Good. The last chart I wanna quickly present is basically the Bitcoin dominance. This one is also quite tricky to calculate. Before I had a different idea here. Basically, I was thinking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it doesn't respect my price levels, so I have changed to a different structure here. And now I think that this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that there's no subwaves in the hourly, and so therefore I really think that we have completed the daily subwave 1, and now we will go into a deeper correction to the daily subwave 2. So that would also mean for the next couple of weeks until summer, maybe there could be a small altcoin season before the Bitcoin dominance will then push even higher. That's basically my view here. If you also check the charts, with this change I have done, it's respecting perfectly my targets. Also this one here, that was just hit perfectly. So that what means basically that this was the max level for a wave 5, and it seems that this level was hidden perfectly. I have counted it basically with the wave 1 here and with the wave 4, and we hit this target. So now I do really expect that we have this push up downwards, a corrective B wave, and then a C wave. Let's see if that happens. And that's basically my view on those charts. There are some other charts I really like, but right now I think those charts are the most important ones. Thanks a lot, and wish you a good day.